Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm going to measure and hook up a test subject today or tonight, and I'm going to, kind of combine what we've learned in class with our measurements. Kind of the half method we talked about later on in the year here. So I kind of put that together, what we learned early on in the year. So I just wanted to show you here. Got everything set up for the hookup. So when you go to your clinicals, you just want to have your tape ready for your EKG, your eye leads, and your ears, and then of course the patches for the scalp. I have some, Q-tips here for prepping. I have the prep, an electrode paste, measuring tape, and this measuring, or the pencil. And I always wrap my patients, I always wrap their heads just to keep the electrodes on securely. So let me go ahead and get started here. Let me slide down. So I'm kind of working over my tripod, so hopefully it will be, I won't be too clumsy here. Okay, so the first measurement, of course, is the sagittal plane. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the nasion. So the nasion is actually comes together where the frontal bone meets the two nasal bones, and that's right at the bridge of the nose, right at the deepest. If you feel with your finger, the deepest part of the bridge of the nose, and then it's just right where it starts to go upwards towards the forehead. That's the nasion. That's where the frontal bone and the nasal bones meet, right there. So you just put a mark right there. Let's see if they can see that right there. Now you don't want to put it up too high. This thing here is part of the frontal bone. That's not the nasion area. I think they call this the glabella area. So the nasion is right in the bridge of the nose, right where it starts to take off upwards. Okay. All right. Okay, lift your head. And then of course, we're going to feel back here for the inion. And Mo has a really nice one. So I'm going to put one right there, our mark there for the nasion. All right, so the first measurement is going to be from the inion to the nasion. So I like to put my zero mark on my zero right there at the, you can put your head down and hold it there at the inion, and then go here. And I have 35, okay? So first measurement's going to be up for FPZ, 10%, right? All right, so that's your FPZ. Now, we're going to go, so between each electrode now it's going to be 20%, right? So 35 times 2 is 7. So we can put this down here and we can make a mark at FC at 14, right? And then one at 7. So that's FC and CZ right there. Okay, lift your head. Okay, and then we can just go down, hold it down again, and go at 7 and 14 right here. So that'll give us OZ and FPZ. So let me just take a look now. From OZ to the inion should be about 3.5. So let's see how we're doing there. so I got about, oh, let me see here. Okay, it's about 4.25. So I'm off about 2.5 or 0.75 centimeters. So I can just go back and see if I'm off at any point here. Okay, that's 7. That's 7. Lift your head. Maybe I slipped here a little bit. Oh, here we go. Here's my mistake. I'm a ½ centimeter off here at PZ. So that should bring down my OZ a little bit to be even a little closer. So I'm just gonna go down there. It's about another ½ centimeter. And then, okay, now it's at about 4. Okay, so again, so you can just do half. So like when you do these measurements, you always want to make sure you know what the distance is. You should always try to calculate that in case you make a mistake. So it's nice to just to go half method, but what I like to do is I just like to put it down like this. And then I can go, I can go 40%, which is 14 and then 7, right? And you can do the same in the back. So that's that one. So now we're going to do the sagittal plane. So you can turn your head that way. I'm sorry, the central coronal plane. So I'm going to do the preauricular point there. The preauricular point there. Now I'm going to put my measuring tape right on the right preauricular point, and I'm going to find CZ. Going to go right through it, and I have about 34.5. Let me just double check to make sure that's good. Actually 34. Okay, so it's going to be 34. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up in the 10%. It's 34. 3.4 above the ear. Okay, now 20. So it's 20% between each electrode. So that'd be 6.8. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my measuring tape right there, and then so 6.8 is right here, and if I double 6.8, that is what, 13.6. So I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to do 13.6. Okay, right there. Okay, now I'm going to go up the other way. Turn your head that way to the left. I'm going to go up 3.4. Can you turn your head a little more to the left? There you go, thanks. And then I'm going to put 3.4 there. And the same thing, I'm going to take my measuring tape and see how accurate I am here. So I'm going to go there and bring it all the way to OZ. And now this should connect to my CZ mark. So let's see how close I am. Actually, I'm at 14.5, so I'm a little off here. Okay. So it's at 14.5, so I'm going to go back here just real quick and check. I'm not going very fast, but see if I'm off here at all. So let me see there. Okay, I guess I'm slid a little bit. So here I'm off about 3 millimeters, 6.8 there. And then let's go back here. And okay, that's going to buy me about 3 millimeters. Okay, and let's go back here. Let's remeasure this. That's about 3.4. Okay, so now I can go here and see. Let's see how far I am. Okay, so now I'm at about 14.2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just split the difference and go 7.1 instead of 6.8. So the ones on this side are going to be 7.1. And the ones on the other side are 6.8. And so that's pretty close. That's less than a ½ centimeter difference, okay? So now we're going to start, we're going to do the horizontal plane. So I'm going to just make my little marks through there right when I start. Oops. I think I bumped that, shoot. Okay. I hope that didn't muck up. Anyway, I just to show you here, I went 7.1 here and 7.1 to here, and admit it at CZ right here. Here I went 6.8 and 6.8. So again, I just want you to, you know, when you're making your measurements, just to make sure that you guys know the distances between each electrode, so you can go back and make changes if you need to. Okay, lift your head. Now you find OZ, which is right there. Oops, right there. Okay, you can let your head down. Okay, you're gonna go right through T3. All right. And we have 54. Okay, lift your head. Oh, jeez, I keep bumping this with my shoulder. Let's see if I can move this a little bit closer. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna go 5% on either side. So 3.4. Half of that is 2.7. I'm just gonna make the marks there. So that should be 5.4. All right, and then I'm just going to put this here and make the mark there like that. Okay, you turn your head to the left. So now I'm going to head off towards T4. So I'm going to go 5.4 and 10.8. Okay, so I'm just going to mark 5.4 right there, 10.8. I'm going to keep my I have my tape measures right on the line on this side of the line, so I'm just going to cross that right like that. Then I'm going to find, you turn your head a little bit to the left, there you go. So I'm going to find OZ, and so I'm going to go 5.4 right here. You guys see that? Probably not. So I'm going to go 5.4 and 10.8. So this is right down here. This is perpendicular to OZ. So OZ is like right here. So you can see it's perpendicular right there. So I'm going to leave that. Okay, turn your head the other way. And then I'm going to go 10.8 again. And so 5.4 and right here, and then I'm holding it on the line. I'm just going to go right across like that. And then over here, oops. Okay. All right. I'm going to find my OZ mark again, which is right there. And I'm just going to go 5.4 here and 10.8, or well, 10.8 here. Okay. Now, before I make the cross marks at T5 and T6, I'm going to check to see what the distance is between O1 and O2. Lift your head. So, putting this down, and it looks like I'm a ways off. So I'm at, oh wow, I'm at 7. That's weird. I'm about 6.8. So that's about 2.4 centimeters off. So I don't know why that is. Lift your head. Let's just do another measurement real quick. And put your head down. Okay, it says 5.4. So let's go. Let me see. Let's just see if I made some mistakes here. So I'm going to check out 5.4, 5.4, 5.4, 5.4. Okay, can you head this way? And 5.4. 5 point. Well, this one's a tiny bit off, but not a lot. Okay, this one's about a half a centimeter off, so I must have slipped here. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to make up for my mistake. So lift your head again, and let me double check again. Actually, now I'm at about 6.2. So I am about 1.5 centimeters off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit to each one, I'm going to go to about 5.6 to make that up. So this one, I'm just going to add a little bit all the way around. Okay. I added a little bit, about 2 or 3 millimeters that way. Excuse me. And then I'm going to add. I'm going to go to 5.6 here. 5.6. All right, 5.6. And I'm going to add a little bit here. Okay, now let's check it again. Lift your head. Thanks. Okay, let's see how far apart I am now. Now I'm at about 5.8. Okay, so okay. So I got it. So now what I'm going to do? Can you see that? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cross off and make sure O1 and O2 are nice and level in the back. So I'm going to put my tape there right along the OZ mark. And then I'm going to just cross off O2. And I'm going to cross off O1. So now they're nice and level in the back, okay? Okay, now I can finish off T5. I just have to put my tape along the measuring, right along here. And then I cross off T5. And then I can go to the other side and do the same thing. Ugh. All right. So I'll put it right along there and right along that one, right along the side, and then cross these off. Okay. So now I've decided that I'm going to stick with my parasagittals. I like doing the parasagittals first because I think the frontal and the parietal coronals are a little harder for me. So I'm going to put my 0 right on O2, and I'm going to go up to FP2. Right, I'm going to go right through the C3 mark right here, right? I go right through the C3 mark. It's a little less than 25. Okay, let me see. Let me just measure again here. So go right through C4. So it's about 24.5. So it's closer to 24 though. So I'm just going to go try 24. So now I'm going to put my measuring tape right on FP2, and I'm going to extend it right over to the C4, and and so if it's 24, it's going to be 6, right? We're going to divide these in the quarters, so 6, and then 12, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and go back here. I'm going to go right through the PZ or P4 area. I'm going to put the tape right on there and extend it back. So it's when it touches O2, it's almost right on 12. Okay, so I'm just going to put a mark at 6. And then my measurement from P4 to O2 is about 6.2. Okay, you can turn your head to the right. All the way to the right. There you go. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put my 0 on O1. I'm going to go right through C3. And I have 24. So that's even closer to 24. So now I'm going to put this. You can turn it to the left. So I'll just put this right on the FP2. I'm going to go right to C4. I'm going to mark at 6. And then I'm going to mark at 12. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to go back to O1 and bring it up to, okay, here I have about, oh, it's about 12. So now I'm going to go at 6, right? Can just go right in half. So if you notice, I know what the spacing is. I'm always telling myself what the spacing should be when I do these half things, because I want my measurements to be, you know, as perfect as possible. So, okay, now all I have left is the frontal coronal and the parietal coronal planes. So let's do the frontal coronal plane. So this one, I showed you that method. You could either go like this and then just put your thumbs like that if you know, if you're having a hard time, but Mo has pretty thin hair up here, so I can see pretty well, so I'm going to put it on F8. Notice I have my parasagittal lines here. I can follow those along really nicely with my measuring tape. But you can do the finger method too. You can go like this if you want. I'm going to stick with my measuring tape if I can. If not, in the back I'll probably do the thumbs, but you can also do this number too, right? And then just put your mark. Well, let's just try it. Okay, so now I have to make sure I measure between each one to make sure. So this one's at 10.25, and let's see what the other one's at. And this one's at 10.25. So the thumb method worked really well. So 10.25 would be about 5.1 or so. So I'm just going to make a measurement right through there. And then I'm going to go here and make a measurement right about 5.1 or so. Okay. I'm going to put my reference electrode right here, right on the top, and then I'm going to put my ground, my common electrode on the side here, like that. Okay, now lastly I have the parietals to do, the parietal coronal plane. So I'm going to try the finger method here and lift your head. So what you do is just find T5 and PZ, and I'm sorry, T6 and PZ and T5 and PZ. Yeah. This can get tricky. And all right, all right. Okay, just hold your head just like that. So I'm gonna put my mark right there like that. Okay, you can put your head down. So you can turn your head to the left. I have a feeling I'm off here a little bit, but I'm gonna measure between each from T6 to PZ, going through my P4 mark. See what I got here. This is 11. This is 11.25 on that side. Turn your head the other way. On this side, it is It is 11. Or maybe just a little more than 11. So I'm pretty accurate. So it's 11.1 or so. So it's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark, oops. I'm going to go ahead and mark at just about 5.5. There. Okay, and there, which is about 5.25. Okay, turn your head the other way to the left. Okay, now I'm going to go up here and go about 5.5. And then let's see what this is here. This is about 5.6. Okay, so that's everything's measured now. But let's go back and check just to see. Let's go back and check. I'm just gonna make sure. So I want all these to be in about with less than a centimeter difference. So this is 5.5, 5.5, I guess. This one's about 5.6. This one here is about 5.7. This one here is about 5.8. Okay, lift your head. In the back, I have about 5.8. So you remember, and you can put your head to the right. You remember her circumference was 54. So but I was off a couple centimeters. So this is about 5.6. This one's about 5.5. Oh. This one's about 5.6 or 7. And this one's about 5.7. Okay, so the circumference is good. Okay, we already checked this one. This was I changed that one. Let's check this one. Let's check the ones going across the frontal coronal. That's 5.4. That's 5.0. This one's 5.3, and this one's 5.2. Let's do the central coronal plane. This is 7. I think we said 7.1 on this side, right? This is about 7.1 there. I think we said these are about 6.8. Yeah, that's about 6.8. And this one I moved. Yeah, about 6.8. Let's try parietals. Parietal is 5.6. Turn your head to the left. Lift your head. And this one here is about 5.62. Okay. And this one is 5.5. And this one is, this one's going to be a little longer, about 5.8. Parasagittals, could recheck these. 5.9, 5.9, 6.1, and 6.0. Okay, turn your head. Let's try it. Okay, this one is about 6.2 or 1, something like that. 6.1, 6.0, and about 5.8. Okay, so you can see these are, if if you take some time and just double check your work, you can see that that these you can get these really super accurate, and that's what you want to shoot for. Okay, and of course I can do this much quicker, but I was just kind of showing you how to do this. And once you practice this over and over again, you tend to get really fast at it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my let's just go ahead and prep real quick. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep her skin, and in a minute I'm going to shut this down, or I'm going to put the electrodes on, but then I'm going to do a recording on her and show you a full-length recording. But in the meantime, I'm just going through and prepping. Lift your head. And of course, I want turn your head to the right. So the thing is like, I watched a bunch of videos today online about how other people do their measurements, and there's all sorts of ways to do this. So whatever is comfortable for you, that's good. You need to find your own technique. There's really literally dozens of ways to do this. But the only thing I recommend is that when you're measuring, if you do the half method or whatever you're doing, just make sure you know what the distance is between each electrode, because and double check your work, because if you make a mistake, you need to go back and change the place where you made the mistake. Okay, so make sure you just have in your mind, if you can. I know this is a little difficult at the beginning to try to break these numbers down, but it's really, really helpful, and it'll make you be a really, really good, you'll get really good at placing your electrodes accurately. So just hang in there. I was reading today in one of the textbooks that it takes months to get really good at measuring. So we've only been at this a few months. I think 3 months now, and you guys are doing really good. So don't worry if you still feel like you're slow. You guys are going to get faster and faster. But again, just try to, when you're doing the half method, just try to keep in your mind like what the distance is between each electrode, just in case you make a mistake. And then again, like I've always told you, make sure you align O1 and O2 up really good by lifting the head. Okay, no matter what method you use, you should always have the head lift up and check the alignment in the back. That's super important. In the meantime, I'm prepping Mo's head here. Getting everything prepped up. I like to get my resistances down below 5 k ohm. I set my resistance meter at 10 k ohm, and if I get below 10 k ohm, that's good. But if they all start to drop below 5, then I put it at 5, and then the ones that are a little bit above 5, I prep them and try to get them all below 5. I just feel that the recordings are better when the impedances are 5 and below. But the guidelines, the ACSN guidelines now have changed, and you can do it below 10 instead of 5. But 5 is always something good to shoot for. Okay, so I got everything prepped on her head. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go over and turn on the impedance meter, and I'm gonna actually record the impedances with my iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to post the video of the iPad with the impedances on it next to this video, okay? So you can turn your head to the right. So I'm going to go ahead now and quickly put on these electrodes. So I have my electrodes to the right of her here, and so I'm just going to pull them out one by one. Put some paste in it. Let me see if you can see that. Okay. So I'm just going to go here. And so you can see I'm going to point everything towards the PZ. So I usually start in the back and work my way forward. Okay. Oops. P4. I'm going to go to P4. And my impedances should start dropping pretty soon. I should probably talk up so that you guys can hear me on the impedance side, but okay, now I'm going to go do T4. So what you want to do is you want to clear the hair out of the way. C4. All right, so C4. All right, and then I'm going to put the ground on, or actually the reference. Actually, no, the ground. I have the ground on the right side here, so I'm going to pull that one out. So on the impedance meter, you should start seeing the ones turn green, because I can see them here in the head box. So when you watch them, if you watch the impedance video, it's probably pretty boring, but if you watch it, you'll see that the right side electrodes are starting to drop first, because I'm working on the right side. Then I'm going to pull out the ear. I'm going to paste the ear on with some tape. You don't need a lot for the ear, just a tiny bit, because it lays pretty flat on there on the skin, and then you just take it and just wrap it around the ear really good like that. And then we're going to go to F8. And put that one on. Okay. And then F4. Okay. And I can put my eye on. And that's PG1 in the, I'm using the Natus tonight. I just decided I wanted to use the Natus. So I'm going to put that on the eye there on the side. This is the upper canthus on the right side. I don't know if you can see that. Let's put a piece of tape over that. I'm going to put FP1 or FP2 on. If you notice, all the electrodes are kind of flowing towards the back of the head. Okay, now I'm going to put on the midline. So I'm going to go PZ. And you can lift your head. Oop, not too far. There you go. Okay, and I'm going to pop on PZ right here. Actually, I'm putting PZ going downwards. I think I told you guys upward, but I put it downwards, probably a better idea. And then CZ. All right, CZ. And then FC. So far, all my impedances are down below 10, at least 10. I can see on my box that they're all down below 10. I'm going to put FC on. Oops. Then I'm going to put my reference on right here on the top here. Okay, now I'm going to have her turn her head to the right. I'm going to put my iPad or my phone over here. This video is going to be pretty funky, I'm sure, but I think you guys get the gist. All right. Okay, now I'm going to find 01. Put that down like that. All right. So, you know, we're on about 40 minutes already, but I can probably do this within 25 minutes, the whole setup. It's just that I'm taking the time to talk to you guys. But this goes much quicker, and when you guys get better and faster at this, it's going to go really quick for you. But if you can get a whole set on within 30 minutes, you know, that's a good time, and you'll be able to do that. So I go along here. Okay. So I'm going to quickly add the rest of them. Put these on like this. Just have about 4 more and then we should be good to go. Just to record. All right. Alright. All I have left to do on the head is to put on the eye one on that side. And then they're all good. One of them actually popped back down, but I think if I just press on it, it should be good. Okay, you can put your head straight up. Okay, and that would be at P4 fell off a little bit, so I'm just going to grab it and put it back on. Like so, just press on it, and that should take care of it. What I'm going to do now is just take a wrap. You can lift your head a little bit. And I'm just going to wrap around here to keep these things nice and tight on the head, so they can move a little bit without being, you know, without pulling and dropping the leads off. Like so. All right. Okay, so P4 came back, so everything is good in the jack box. So all I have left to do is put on her EKG, and so number three on the jack box for the EKG goes on the right side. So I'm just going to pull the shirt down, do about 3-4 centimeters underneath the right clavicle. And I'm going to put that on and tape it down really good, like so. You see that? Okay, and then I'm going to put the number 2 in the native spent jack box. I'm going to put under the left clavicle. So I'm just going to pull the shirt down a little bit, scrub there really good, put that there. Okay, all right, so now we're ready to record. So what you want to do with your jack box, you want to take your jack box, and this is good for your clinicals, and you want to bundle everything up real close to the patient. So you take the jack box and put it close to the patient. Take all the leads. Take all the leads like this and kind of curl them up a little bit and kind of bundle them like this. And just put them right on the side of the patient like this so they're all tucked away really nice. Then that'll help you eliminate 60 hertz artifact. Okay, so it should look a little like this. Okay, so she's all wrapped up, everything's tucked away, all the leads are bundled up really nice together. Now we're ready to record. So that's it. So that's a hookup. So we're going to record now, so we'll go over to the machine and I'll show you a complete 30-minute recording.